We're here now with The Legal Answer, our segment brought to you by the Sinas Law Firm. And of course, we've got our personal injury attorney with us today, Stephen Sinas. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us. And today, Steve, we've got a few questions that deal more with safety rather than the law, especially when it comes to preventing car crashes in construction zones.
Yeah.
So in places right here in our community, there's so many different projects happening on I-96, 496, and 127. But taking extra precautions can truly make a big difference between life and death. So first, tell us a little bit about how prevalent car crashes are in construction zones.
Well, in 2024, there was over 6,000 crashes in Michigan in construction zones. And I can just tell you, representing injured people, work zones are dangerous places. They're dangerous places for the workers, for drivers, for everyone involved. We're here today to talk about ways you can be proactive with your safety to hopefully prevent crashes to yourself and to others.
Yeah, especially when that number is 6,000, definitely being proactive can really lessen that. So what are some of those tips for staying safe in Lansing's construction zones to not only protect yourself, but your passengers, drivers, and even road workers?
I'll start with mindset. When you see signs that you're heading into a construction zone, you should tell yourself, okay, I need to be on alert. I might not know where the road's going to go in terms of, left or right, or the ways the signage is going. I need to make sure I know what other people are doing. I need to make sure that I'm totally focused on the road, so you're not looking at your navigation or doing something like changing the song on your phone or something, right? You need to focus because you're heading into a danger zone. And once you are entering that danger zone, there's no need to go fast, so reduce your speed. Make sure that you're staying a good distance apart from cars, because there might need to be a reason to brake suddenly. When it comes down to paying attention, it's paying attention to the roadway and the signage telling you where you're going to go next, because each week in a construction project, the signage may change.
Steve, those are some really great tips. Are there any other things that we should keep in mind too when we are driving in a construction zone?
Well, we talk about mindset as you're going into the construction zone, but you can also plan ahead, especially around this town these days. You never know when these projects are going to change, or when a certain exit is closed or a direction of travel doesn't work for you. So plan ahead, look at the routes you want to go on, see whether it's going to work to actually get there.
Right.
Give yourself the time, and also keep track of the situation. Maybe reach out to people who've traveled through that place on that given day to see if there are any crashes or any backups, because you can get frustrated if you're trying to get from point A to point B and you're stuck in some jam at a construction site.
Now, Steve, if a viewer or their loved one is involved in a car crash in a construction zone, what's the first step that they should take?
They need to try to assess the situation in terms of what the police are saying about fault and how the crash occurred. They need to think about their insurance rights. They have very important rights under the Michigan No-Fault Insurance Act they need to pursue. There are different rules and legal concepts that apply to civil liability in a construction zone. There might be multiple different theories of liability. Obviously the driver's involved, but perhaps the way the construction project was run, companies involved. There are so many different things to consider. So you need to obviously deal with your injuries if you're seriously injured, but begin to educate yourself about your legal rights and your insurance benefits, and ultimately contacting a lawyer makes a whole lot of sense for families in that situation, because they're going through so much. They need to make sure they understand their rights properly, and the lawyer is there to obviously do that and take the pressure off of them in terms of figuring out how to pursue those rights. So.
Steve, is there anything else that we should keep in mind, especially when we are dealing with roads in heavy construction areas?
If everybody is just more patient, if everybody plans ahead, and everybody works together, you're going to save lives. Workers' lives, drivers' lives, everyone involved is safer.
Patience. It sounds obvious, but it's clearly the key to saving lives here. So thank you so much for joining us, Steve. This is just the beginning, but if you want to dive deeper into this conversation, just take a look at the info listed right here below on your screen so you can contact Sinas yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.